Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna be doing a voiceover on this video, mostly due to because I don't know. It's once again, um, I don't know if something's wrong with my phone or I have no idea. But sometimes I'll do a recording and the file will get corrupted and YouTube won't accept it. Um, Sometimes even when I try to use Sony Vegas, I'm using Sony Vegas for this so I can do the voiceover so I can add it to the video, which is annoying. But this is a 2021 Mosaic for La Liga. Um, I can understand why it was so cheap. Usually I'm more um, Premier League because I'm an Arsenal fan. I love La Liga. Don't get me wrong. I'm more, I was always when I first started watching football. Where more people gravitated towards Barcelona and whatnot. Of course, Arsenal did lose to Barcelona in the Champions League final, so that's a good reason to kind of hate them. Maybe not hate them, but not like them. And to gravitate towards one of their greatest rivals, and which is Real Madrid. But it's like I always kind of gravitated towards Real Madrid because they're a little bit more diverse, I would say, than Barcelona at the time. I mean, Barcelona at the time it's basically almost like the Spanish national team, so it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm not, there's a few other players sprinkled in from different countries, but then you go over to Real Madrid where it's a little bit more diverse and you have a little bit more of a selection, I guess you can say, from different countries and whatnot like that. And they have their Spanish players. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure the Spanish people that are currently watching them would love to have their Spanish players playing on Real Madrid. I mean, it's just like U.S. You love to see your hometown boys do well in your own league and whatnot like that. But I always kind of gravitated towards Real Madrid. Now, like their jerseys, it's like clean. Their white jerseys are just nice and clean. It's just white and, it has that bright feature to them. And came into, I started understanding football maybe around like 2006. Is when I really started getting into it right after the World Cup. United States was pretty good at that time. They had some veterans and some good up-and-coming players, but they couldn't make it out of the group stage, unfortunately, in '06. And I just loved watching the game. The game was like so smooth. It was ping pong passing and one-touch passing and goals, and you just saw these amazing players. You saw these amazing athletes just running around the pitch and whatnot, and it was just like, wow, okay, maybe I should start paying attention a little bit more to this sport, and I did. Not fully. I got fully invested probably around, probably like '08, '09-ish or something like that. So by that time, I mean, CR7 was gone from Manchester United, so I didn't have to really hate him as much. I mean, even when you just watch him, I mean, I can be unbiased towards players, easily. I can be easily unbiased towards if I can. It's like, God, that's a great player, unless he's like a diver or he's kind of like, I don't know, like Luis Suarez is kind of like a scumbag player to me. I've never liked him, even when he was on Liverpool. I just call him a biter because that's who he is. He's just, I don't care about like I understand like the living conditions down in South America aren't great. I mean, it's considered like third world countries and whatnot like that. But, I don't go for, well, they have to do everything to win. They'll do anything to win. And that's by biting people and hurting people. It's just, I'm not, I understand that there's an essence of the game that people just hate, when people dive and they roll around on the floor like they just got their leg cut off. And, I hate that. Arsenal players do it. Everybody does it. It's really annoying. You really hope your players don't do it because it's like, it really is an embarrassment. And especially when you bring up that, especially in America, you bring up that you're a fan of football, and I always say football first, and because I'm not going to get confused by the NFL and the Premier League, or the NFL and La Liga, or Liga, or all the great leagues, Bundesliga, Serie A. I'm not going to get confused by them because I actually use my brain. And the team names are just not even close to that. Most teams use their city name as their name. Arsenal is one of the few teams out there that doesn't use like their city name of where they are, where they're located, which is nice. I think that's what maybe kind of gravitated towards that as well. Red and white, the way they played football though is what drew me in. But every time in America, when you say like you're a football fan, it's those guys who roll around on the ground like they got their arm cut off or someone chopped off their ankle and stuff like that, and then they get right back up 5 seconds later like nothing happened. It's like, yeah, I mean it's an embarrassing part of the game. Ever since I started watching though, it's become less and less because of the magnitude of the game now. Just overall, I mean, you're talking about the money that's in this game now is just huge. Everybody's under a microscope now. You can go online and watch a game. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it pretty much anywhere. You can go to a pub, go to a bar. At least here in Chicago, I'm from Chicago. There's a hangout for Arsenal fans. I don't know if it's a Globe pub anymore. I haven't been for a while, but they have their own hangout to go and watch games and stuff, and be amongst like the same fans and stuff. It's cool as hell. It's fun. But it's kind of embarrassing. But I mean, I think because the game is such under a microscope, and some of these players see the negative feedback from fans, from even fans from United States and stuff that are coming into the game, and they don't want to look like fools, man. They don't want to all of a sudden their name isn't as spectacular or followed as it once was. Back in the day, I mean, if you didn't go to a game or something, I mean, maybe you watch it on TV, maybe like especially in the United States. I mean, you'd be lucky if like Sports Center carried a game or two. I mean, they would always highlight the El Clasico. That was about it. But you would hardly ever get any type of Premier League scores or anything like that now. It's on Sports Center. It's on any type of newscast for Fox or ESPN or BN is an important channel. But it's nice, it's different. It sheds light on the game. It's a sleeping giant here in the United States. But it's just fun to follow and fun to be a part of. Went over to London as well to see a game. Saw, goddamn. I don't even want to talk about that. It still pisses me off. It still pisses me off to this day. But have been over to London to see a game. Did the whole tour of the Emirates and everything like that. Went to the museum. Spent the whole day just taking in everything Arsenal. It was awesome. It's just a great sport to follow and stuff like that. But I just want to give kind of like a little talk of how I got into it and stuff like that. And I immediately follow Premier League. I was watching, man, 3-4 years ago. I mean, Saturday and Sunday. That's all I watched was Premier League, La Liga, Liga. They would have games on Friday. They would have games on Saturday. Sunday, obviously, even Monday night games sometimes. Obviously, Premier League has that, but switched over providers, and my provider doesn't. I have to pay more money for certain channels, and I'm not going to do that. I pay enough as it is. But I have Xfinity, and they have Peacock, and they have the exclusive rights to the Premier League, so that's good enough for me. But I kind of miss watching La Liga and Serie A and stuff like that. I know ESPN has it, but I'm not going to pay their fee. I'm not going to give them any more money than I already give them already. And so on and so forth. So I kind of miss those, but it's not groundbreaking for me. I just hate that it's part of the streaming service. I think La Liga, it's exclusively streaming. I think they air like one game a week or something. I like ESPN2, like on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning or something. It's annoying. When I found out they got the exclusive rights, because they used to be on just ESPN Deportes, but now they're on ESPN fully, and yeah, it's annoying how much of a kind of like a money grab it is. I mean, I hate that the Premier League I think it's Peacock, so you got to buy the streaming service Peacock. It's free if you have Xfinity because it's owned by Xfinity. It's NBC Productions and everything like that, which is a Comcast company. But yeah, doing this break, man, I'll just kind of go into it real quick. I'm not going to speak about it too much. Unless you're a hardcore like La Liga fan, I think even if you're a hardcore La Liga fan, I would not buy this thing. I understand why it was only like $200 to buy. So I thought, I'll take a flyer on it. I thought, looking at some of the football cards, and I'm sure the basketball cards are going to be coming out soon for Mosaic at some point. At some point, man, like they have to change their system a little bit for Panini with Mosaic because I love the set. I love the cards. They have that shine. They have that mirror effect. I love the mosaics, but man, they got to start doing some numbered cards to get more. Unless I don't know. Unless this is just Mosaic is just kind of like the budget set. It's for. I don't want to say poor people, but I mean it's like, is this the budget set? Is this what it continues to be when it can be so? It can be so much more. Put a few more numbered cards into the boxes so that it's interest, man. You're seeing like the football Mosaic, man. Those boxes cost still like $700, $800 because they kind of changed it up a little bit. They changed that. There's a little bit more numbered cards. There's the mosaics are changing. They're getting a little bit more backing in terms of how much money they cost and everything like that. And you would think they would do that to every set. I bought a Mosaic Euro set. You got the auto, and then you got one numbered card. That's it. And it's like, come on, man. This is the Euros, man. This is like the best of the best in Europe. And it's a shit set. It's a shit break. I got lucky on the break. I paid for like $160. And I got lucky because I got a Wayne Rooney auto. And then I got it graded, and thank God I got a 9.5. And then I got a 10 on the auto. So at some point that's going to sell. So it's like I'm going to make my money back probably double or triple, hopefully. Should I got that up for $600 right now? But I mean, I can open offers up to, as low as like $400 or something like that. But it's like you always kind of want to start high and then work your way down if someone's just really interested in the card. I got lucky in that set, but in this set, I don't think I'm going to make my money back. I don't see it. I got some Ansu card, but I just the auto is okay. I have to get the card backs out because I just stored them away already. Because there's no type of money on them because they literally just came out this past week, and yeah, there's no price guide for them yet. There's no price points on them yet. I mean, I could probably sell a few cards for a decent amount, but I'm just gonna wait on them. I know the numbered cards I'm probably gonna get graded. I might get that. I might get that autograph graded because it's gonna be $12 on CSG. CSG. I'm gonna get them through them. I'm just gonna do all my business through them. Just because it is so cheap, and I think they are going to come up and do some great things. I think maybe go into that a little bit in terms of grading. I know I just did a full, I think it's like 51 minutes talking about grading and stuff. I'm looking to get graded and whatnot. I recently saw a video. I mean, this was before they changed their label and they changed their grading system. That people think it's too late in the game for another company to get into the game, and I don't think that's true. If you show consistency, if you have a nice slab, which they do, they have the best slab. The slab is beautiful. I mean, if you compare it to, you compare the plastic or whatever to even PSAs is like kind of pathetic in terms. I don't like how SGCs is just a little bit bigger. Like both the CSG, I did a comparison on one of my videos, but the CSG slab and the PSA slab are the same. The CSG is they have a little bit more weight to it. It's crystal clear. It doesn't, like PSAs, you kind of like touch it and it's almost, it feels like it's gonna almost break in your hand. Where the CSGs, it's like yeah, that's gonna hold up. That's gonna hold up through the ages. You can throw it up against the wall, it's not gonna crack. To where I think if you throw a PSA up against the wall hard enough, I think it's gonna crack open, or it's just gonna crack in general. But I don't believe that's gonna be true. Is that they're just too late to the game? They have money backing. They're making moves, man, and they're partnering up with what they pair up with PWCC, which is they paired up with eBay to be the authenticator of their program, their huge program that they just launched, and that's huge for eBay. The Chicago Spectacular, which is going to be the national next year. They have the national, I think, every other year, I believe. But that's what it's called. Every 3 months, they have the Chicago Spectacular. That's what they call it. The card show. It's huge. It fills up a couple of huge rooms. It's like hundreds of tables. Like I would say, like 300 or 400 tables. I think it is. It's huge. If you've ever been to the national, I mean, it's kind of like that, but it's a little bit less. But it's just a huge show. They're partnered up with them where they're going to be there every single day, even grading cards right on the spot and everything like that. They're making moves. They've been around for a while because they've been the leader in grading comic books and then also magazines. Which, if you saw my last video, you saw that of what I did with that with the magazines, dude. Holy shit. It's insane, but I mean, they've been in the game for a while, and if they have the backing to stay in the card business, I mean, they had more cards being slabbed up last month than CSG and Beckett as well. And those two are supposed to be fighting for number 2. And CSG is number 2 and more slabs. They're going to keep on doing that because they have the best prices now. $12 a slab if you have 50 or more cards. And there's been dealers that have been holding back cards for months now, probably even a year and a half, because PSA prices are just insane. It really is, and they keep on being insane. I don't think it's going to change. People think it's going to change, and I don't think it's going to change because they know of just the market they have. The market share is just huge, and I don't think they're going to change. So you look at something like CSG, who's going to be the old PSA in terms of how much a slab is going to cost you to get graded. As long as they stay consistent, man, they can be that number 2. They can take over SGC. They can take over Beckett because of their prices alone, because people will just gravitate towards that. And you're going to see a lot more and more of that as time goes on in terms of cards of, lesser value. I'm not sending in a card unless it's $100 to $150 card to PSA. And if their numbers, if their PS, or let's say their 10 is 2,000 and then their 9 is still 600 or something like that, that's like one of the only times I'll ever send a card to them. Because then it'll still be worth it, because it's like I'm looking at the card and it's like, okay, at worst this is a 9. There's a couple cards that I sent. Hopefully they come back, but other than that, if you have like a $50 or like a $20 card that can be upgraded, to say $70, you're not going to send that to PSA because you're going to lose $30 just on the grading fee alone. So who are you going to send it to? Okay, you have a $20 card. You're going to send it to SGC for $30, and then only make like maybe $10 or $20 on it? No, you're going to send it to CSG and try to make the most profit out of it. You're going to take a $20 card, get it slabbed up for $12, and then try to make the most out of it. Then sell it for 50. Even if you have to sell it for $50 or $60, like $10 less than what the premium is, you're still making a huge profit off of that. And that's where SGC is, or CSG is going to take over. It's just, in my opinion, it's just simple business. It's supply and demand. Like, who's going to offer the best? PSA is still going to get those huge cards, those on cards, and national treasures and impeccable, and any kind of big, rookies that are coming out through basketball and baseball and basketball and football and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, what else are you going to really send them? Those middle cards are sometimes the bread and butter of every card collector or dealer or flipper, because those are the ones that are really going to keep on flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. It's not going to be the $300, $500, $700 cards. Some of those cards you might be sitting on for a few months until someone comes along and really wants that card, to where those $50, $70, $80 cards, those ones are going to be your bread and butter. And so, like, I'm willing to take that $10 hit to go through CSG. I'm willing to take that $5, $10, $15 hit. Why not? It's just simple business. I'm not going to send it to PSA and lose money right away, and then send it for, it's just ridiculous. And then sit on my money for a year or two, maybe. I don't know. Until maybe it goes up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, if this is the end of the video, I'll just probably end it with some like music or something like that. But yeah, this box, I don't think it's worth it. I would save your money. I would just buy the cards that you want from this set. If you're a Real Madrid, Barcelona fan, like Atletico Madrid, so on and so forth, Real Madrid, or Villarreal and Sociedad and Real Sociedad and all those great teams that are in La Liga, just buy the card. Unfortunately, I had to take the rough, hard way out, and unfortunately, not get any good cards. But yeah, that's the end of the video, and I'll check you guys later.